It's hump day. How we doing, my peeps? As always, thank you for listening to Headbangers and Hooligans. It's yours truly, Scum Malicious. And I got a little bit of everything for you. I want to talk about the Grammys a little bit. And I know what some people are saying. Boy, for somebody that fucking hates the Grammys, you sure like to talk about them a lot. Well, it's something that needs to be discussed, especially for a person that likes to talk about music, okay? Got a little bit of Hollywood, as always. That town that I love so much. Couple little news stories I want to touch upon. But the first thing, and I always come out swinging, right? Throwing haymakers. I want to talk about YouTube. Specifically, YouTube reaction channels. And I remember reading online and seeing some comments about how worthless reaction channels are because they don't take any work. It's just people listening to music, watching videos, watching clips, and they just get tons of fucking subscribers. Well, guess what? If you don't like them, then don't fucking watch them. It's that simple. But especially, there was a guy that made a video about it. And this is probably a couple years ago, talking about these people that don't fucking know anything about the shit that they're reacting to. But that's the point. What the fuck is wrong with that? Like, I've been watching some, like this one guy that all he ever listened to was rap music. And he's been reacting to rock videos, metal videos, classic rock videos, and he's really enjoyed a lot of the music he's been listening to. What's wrong with people exploring new music that they've never heard? I seen a younger lady today. She reacted to the Righteous Brothers, Unchained Melody, and You've Lost That Love and Feeling, and she fell in love with both of these songs. She was like, oh my God, I love these guys. Our generation needs to listen to music like this. Good for her. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's a channel, couple metal guys that listen to stuff that isn't metal. Just check out all the different channels that have heard Chris Stapleton for the first time. I didn't even know about him until some of these channels. I think it's nice that people are exposing themselves to different genres of music that they never listened to. Actually, they're more cool than I am because I'm such a fucking cynic and hate everything. So I give them props. I give them, you know what? I salute them. Yes, I'm being a cheerleader for the reaction channels on YouTube. The guy that made that video is just a fucking hater. Quit analyzing Star Wars for the 20th fucking time. The remakes, whatever. Maybe people are sick of fucking hearing about that shit. And this is coming from a guy that liked the original Star Wars movies. I don't give a shit about all the new stuff. But, yeah, maybe this person should relax a little bit and rethink the way they're doing their channel. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of cool channels up there, and some of their people that react are better than others. They're just their facial expressions, the way they dance, or if they're just shocked by how much they like a song. It's kind of cool to see. I saw one last night where the guy reacted to Pantera, and I don't think he'd ever heard him before, and he's like, holy shit, this is just unbelievable. It's cool to see that. So good for them guys. All right, now we're getting to my favorite award show of all time, the Grammys. So on the podcast yesterday, and I can't remember, it was Rolling Stone, that they were trying to predict who would be nominated for Grammys. Well, they were kind of off a little bit, because guess who got snubbed? Taylor Swift. She did not get nominated for Album of the Year. Oh, boo-hoo. poor girl. She didn't get nominated for another Grammys, another album where she's bitching about some fucking boyfriend that ripped her heart out. Sorry. Been down that road 10,000 times. We've heard fucking hundreds of songs where she shreds an ex-boyfriend that she fucking broke up with, probably. And she moves on. She moves right on to the next guy. She has no problem finding a guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. She should move on. Just, we don't need to hear another album. And she doesn't need another nomination for the same fucking album that we've heard for fucking 20 years now. I'm sorry. Halsey did not get nominated. I'm just not even going to comment on that. And Bruce Springsteen didn't get nominated either for Album of the Year. A lot of people said he should have got nominated. Me personally, some guys I went to school with, high school with, that liked him. I don't. I just, baby, we were born to run. The guy, I just was never a huge fan. You want to hear a band from New Jersey? Listen to the Bouncing Souls. And another snub, apparently, this is from the USA Today, by the way. Katy Perry, she got snubbed. For a song. And look, you can hate on her. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of her, but let's be honest. The chick has put out a lot of fucking singles. She's a pop star. Okay, we get it, but she has put out a lot of fucking songs that people remember. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Remember that? We're going way back. That's like, what, 2009, 2008 maybe? You're yes and you're no. You're hot and you're cold. And, of course, baby, you're a firework. I don't know the words. As you lift into the sky. Remember that one? How can we? Shit. Well, I'm just saying, chick has put out a lot of singles. Whether somebody helped her write this music, probably. I don't know. Just saying. Maybe she'll get a Lifetime Achievement Award or something next year. But how about the metal nominees? Yeah, this is for the Headbangers. I'm always looking out for you. We got Best Metal Performance, all right? Candlemass, featuring Tony Iommi. I had no idea he even played with them on I'm not going to name the title of the song because I will slaughter the title of the song. Death Angel, nominated. Best Metal Performance for Human Side. This is who I am. Despite what you believe, you should listen to that song. Even if you're not a fan, Mark Osagueda, the lead vocalist, he still sounds so fucking good. He's still bringing it. Rob on guitars. They are still absolutely killing it. I'm pretty excited for them. They're not going to win. They're not going to fucking get a Grammy. But the fact that they're nominated really surprised me. I Prevail with Bow Down. Listen to them. Sorry. Newer band that I could just, I'll be fine. I'm not going to trash them. Just something I'm not interested in. Killswitch Engage with their song Unleashed. They got a couple songs that are okay. And then Tool with Semfest. Is that the name of the song? I don't know. I'm probably destroying it. Can't be surprised that Tool's not in there. Then Best Album. Bring Me the Horizon with Ammo. Cage the Elephant with Social Cues. And I listened to Cage the Elephant. What is that? That's not hard rock. That's not rock to me. I don't know what that is. I really don't. The Goo Goo Dolls have more balls than Cage the Elephant. I'm serious. The Cranberries, in the end, is in this for Best Album. Rival Sons with Filled Roots, they're okay. They're not horrible. I'm not saying they're horrible. Just, they don't, like, I don't get punched in with a left hook or anything when I listen to them. And I want a left hook. Or at least there's a vibrator rubbing on my butt. Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted to say. Anyway, and then I Prevail with their album Trauma. I'm telling you, it's not my thing. But what is the big thing? What is the big deal? And I have to agree. I'm trying to remember where I seen the video. It was Rock Feed, I believe. And the guy mentioned this. No Slipknot. And everybody knows my stance on Slipknot. But this was... Like, everybody talked about this album and how great it was. And they're not nominated in either one of these. And I'm telling you, if you're going to have the Cranberries and Bring Me the Horizon and Cage the Elephant in there for Best Album, Slipknot should be in there. I'm just being honest. Put a fucking metal band in there. It's called heavy metal. That's the category. That's the genre. Come on. What'd I say last night? Put me on this fucking panel. We'll get the Grammys straightened out. You need me on there. You need some fucking Scummalicious. I'll tell all these old pussies, sit back. I got this. Okay? Just sit there on your typewriters. Because that's what you guys still use. Can't use this damn... What's texting? I'm kidding. I shouldn't make fun of old people. Fuck, I'm old. But I'm just saying, let me handle this. I do a much better job with nominees, categories, all that shit. We know I would. For one thing, if we're talking album of the year for metal, we already know who I'd be nominating. Nightfire, From Fortune to Ruin. Remember that? Remember that fucking beautiful album? It's still out there, and you should go buy it. Hunting the night, walking down the street, running wild, running free, rise, fall, down, from Germany. Remember them? Fucking just a killer fucking album. Should be listening to this bad boy. That would be... Now, I got to thinking about it. I'm pretty sure it came out in 2019. I don't think it came out in 2018. But the 2020 Grammys, you're talking the metal category, Nightfire should walk away with every award. Best performance, best album, whatever. Fucking killed it on this album. Just like I said on the review, think Metallica meets Judas Priest, and you got yourself a perfect fucking metal album. And then, I mean, you got Strung Out, Songs of Armor and Devotion. That came out. Fuck, that would wipe up the floor with any of these fucking bands. Strung Out can outplay any of these fucking bands, with the exception of maybe Death Angel. Seriously, they can shred. They bring it. And they ain't scared. But as always, I will be doing it's my version of the Grammys. We call them the Scummies, remember? And I always do it before the Grammys because mine are much more important. That way, people know who the real winners are. Everybody gets excited about the Scummies. All right, so there you go. That's my last time I'll bring up the Grammys for 2020, okay? Excuse me. All right. I noticed too that they're already talking about making a sequel for The Joker, a movie I haven't seen yet. My son says it's really good. I haven't, and I'm telling you, I don't think I would. I'll tell you why. You don't want to ruin a good thing. Sequels are hard. We know this. They usually, 90% of the time, they fucking suck ass. They really do. Look at It. The original It. Everybody loved it. Well, for the most part. And I'm not talking about that cheeseball fucking, excuse me, miniseries in the 80s. I'm talking about the movie, came out in 2017, right? Everybody pretty much liked it, as far as I know. And I liked it for the most part. I didn't think it was amazing, but it was pretty good. You know, I liked the young kids in it and stuff. But what happened with the sequel? Wasn't even half as good. Plus, it was 3 hours fucking long. You can't do that unless you're making The Godfather or, you know, Goodfellas Part 2. How about that? Goodfellas, a sequel to some kind of mafia movie. You can't make a horror movie over 3 hours long and be boring, where people are just talking all the time. We want to see arms getting ripped off, fucking guts and blood, just a total bloodbath. That's what we want. We want fucking violence. Which is messed up, me saying that. But and this is off the top of my head. Seriously. Just off the top of my head. I might be missing some. But I'm thinking I thought of 5 sequels that were really good. As far as either being as good or maybe even a little better than the first. I can only think of 5 off the top of my head. And one of them actually isn't a sequel. It's a remake. First one I came up with is The Road Warrior. And that movie is fucking amazing. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch it tonight. Mel Gibson says like 13 lines the entire movie. That movie is so ahead of its time. The stunts in that are fucking incredible. The car's chasing the big tanker and he's driving it and he's got that kid, you know, with the little boomerang. That fucking movie is great. People jumping on top of the tanker and people getting stabbed and jumping in windows of cars. Just fucking amazing. And that was a follow-up to Mad Max, which, not great. It really wasn't. It's kind of a cult classic, but the acting wasn't so great in that movie, let's be honest. But I like the plot and some of the action scenes in it. But yeah, The Road Warrior just absolutely destroys Mad Max, the original. Evil Dead 2, which, by the way, is a remake. It's not a sequel to the original Evil Dead. It's just Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, a.k.a. Ash, got more money, so they were able to make a bigger movie as far as with all the special effects and stuff. But the first one, honestly, the first one is a lot gorier than the second one to me. And I love the way they used practical effects in that first one. Such a small budget. But Evil Dead 2, pretty amazing movie. The Godfather 2, Part 2. I don't think it's better than the first, but some people do. But it's still pretty good. It's really good. I like it. I just don't know if I like it as much as the first. That's just me. I know some people that like it better than the first, like my son. But it's an all-time classic. Lethal Weapon 2. Remember that, Joe Pesci? They fuck you at the drive-thru. And I do think Lethal Weapon 2 is better than the first one. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. But you add Joe Pesci to it, it's funnier. Even if you don't like it better than the first, it's still pretty good for a sequel. And then the last one I could come up with, and here I was ripping on Star Wars, but I went with The Empire Strikes Back. I like it better than Star Wars. It's actually my favorite Star Wars movie. I just think it's cool. Because, why? Boba Fett. Got a big part in it. And Luke finds out Darth Vader's his father, gets his hand chopped off. It's The Empire Strikes Back. But that's 5 that I could think of. Maybe I'm missing a couple, but sequels rarely work out. Think of The Hangover 2. It's a movie I don't hate. I still get some enjoyment out of it, but it's not even close to the first one. It's you kind of can they use this. It's basically the same fucking thing over. It's the same plot as the first one, pretty much. Only they're in Japan, right? So I don't know. I would, if I'm Hollywood, I wouldn't get excited about a sequel to The Joker just yet. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. That's my Siskel and Ebert take on that. This is going to sound really random, but someone had asked me, well, a couple people had asked me, so you're a Detroit Red Wings fan? How did that happen? My grandma. How about that? Because she was a Detroit fan. She liked the Tigers. She liked the Lions. Red Wings. Because she lived in Detroit. We did for about 6 years when I was little. She lived right across the street from us. Do I know everything about hockey? No, I don't. I'm not a statistician. I'm not a hockey junkie. I will watch it from time to time. I like watching it live. It's a sport that's much better to watch live than it is on TV. Now, the Red Wings ain't so great this year. They haven't been for the last couple years. But I have the jersey. I have the coat. And I really loved them back in the day when they had the Russian Five. They had a whole line that played that was, all 5 of the guys were Russian. Sergei Fedorov, Konstantinov, Igor Larionov. So, yeah. I mean, I'm a Red Wings fan. And it's because of my grandma. Yeah, I'm a bandwagon jumper, I guess. That's what you can say. That's where it came from. And if you need to know something about hockey, I'll refer you to my friend Chris Piper, because that's the dude that'll straighten you out on hockey. All right. I had this story because it's just so ridiculous. Little news story. Kind of a little scum report going on here. The Texas mom, and I read this online this morning, who put a note in her son's lunchbox when he went to daycare, and it said, "Tell my son that mommy loves him so much and she'll be thinking about him." A worker there wrote something back on the note and sent it back with the kid, and it said, "No, put him on a diet." Oh my God. Why are people so fucking mean? She got fired, by the way. But how the fuck, like, what? We're just a fucking mean society anymore. We're spiteful and hateful. Which a lot of people would probably refer to me as that. I try not to be. I'm opinionated. I'm trying to get better at, like, not hating on things that I don't like or that don't interest me. Because we're all different, and I get that. But for somebody, Tell my son that mommy loves him so much, and I'll be thinking about him. And this worker writes back, "No, put him on a diet." Fuck. How about you get plastic surgery, bitch? Just picture if that was your kid. What are you going to do? You're going to fucking say something, right? Yeah. Fuck. And these these daycare places. We need daycare reform. Who's the candidate that's going to fucking reform daycare? Fucking people. You got these young couples both working, and one of them is basically working to pay for daycare because it costs so much fucking money to just take your kid somewhere where they feed them. Probably don't watch them half the day. You don't know what the fuck's going on at that daycare. I don't care if it's registered or not. Yeah, we need daycare reform. Just saying. And my last little thing before I get off here. I seen Jesse, as Dave Chappelle calls him, Juicy Smolier or something like that. Josie, you have to watch that. The little clip on YouTube from his Netflix special. Files counterclaim against the city of Chicago. Would you just go the fuck away? All right, you're full of shit. You made a fucking story up. You look like a fucking jackass at this point. Just shut the fuck up and go away. You're not on a TV show anymore because everybody knows you're a fucking stupid lying sack of shit. Fuck. And I'm sure in 10 years we'll all forget about it. He'll make a comeback, be in some movie or TV show and whatever. It happens all the time. But for now, just go the fuck away. The shit was made up. We know it. Everybody knows it. And I'm telling you, just watch Dave Chappelle YouTube clip on him. He explains it better than anyone, or anyone that I've seen or heard. So, there you go. There is your show, or excuse me, there is the podcast for your hump day. And it is hump day, so get to humping. Or at least try. Alright? Take it easy. And if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.